Okay, welcome to Alone Together, week 35. My name is Susie von Menzenkamp and I'm coming live from County Cork in Ireland. You are all more than welcome. It's great to see all our regular people here on the call and lots of new people joining as well today. So you're all most welcome. Today is a special day as I get to introduce you to a really good friend of mine and a wonderful teacher who has joined us live from India. So it's late for her, it's 10:30 in the evening in India. I just ask you if you can mute yourself. Yeah, I'll just mute everybody. Fantastic. So Dr. Shivani, can you say hello?
Hello everyone. Hello everyone. Hello Susie. Thank you so much for inviting me. I'm really honored, and I wish to share some of my knowledge and exercise about the beautiful science of Ayurveda with you today. I don't know if Susie, you want to say something?
I will. I just wanted to say Dr. Shivani is based in Dharamsala in India, and she's been an Ayurvedic doctor for 17 years now. She has worked on like over 36 international projects. So she's done a lot of her work in Europe, in Germany, and in Poland. And she's been responsible for training a lot of professional consultants. So I had the pleasure of studying with her twice, what she calls ACOC1, which is Ayurveda Consultancy online course. And I've learned a tremendous amount from Dr. Shivani because she takes a wonderful approach to Ayurveda with the sort of coming from the psychology of the doshas. So what she's going to do for the call today is she's going to share a meditation that explores the doshas. So maybe doshas means nothing to you. So just follow along as best you can. But I think a lot of people on this call are becoming more and more familiar now that they've been exposed to it through myself and Sue and Carol and Sarah repeatedly over the last few weeks. So Shivani, I'll let you speak for yourself now. We're looking forward to this.
Thank you very much for the beautiful introduction. I feel a little uncomfortable with, getting introduced so nicely by you, but I'm so honored to share the beautiful science of Ayurveda with you. Now, many of you might not even have heard the word Ayurveda, but I'm sure with Susie, you must have heard a little bit if you have been on her call. So Ayurveda is a complete holistic approach to health, including prescription herbal medication and food, lifestyle. And what I specialize in is understanding the Ayurvedic psychology and how the mind really impacts our body and how we can really turn over and break our repeated patterns. Now, before I lead the meditation, I would like to tell you something very special, which is happening secretively in India, and the world is not being told about it. So, Ayurvedic medicines are curing COVID-19 in a very proper way, but the government and the pharmaceutical companies are not really letting this information come out. So they asked the Ministry of Ayurveda to prove it that it's helping COVID, and they took like 100 patients and they used only Ayurvedic herbs in them, and 95 people got better without any medication, right? But this information is not going out. So what I mean to say is, like, even though there are natural solutions with Ayurveda, this information is being like really pressed down and it shouldn't be released. Because imagine if you could cure COVID without the oximeter and without, checking your temperature many times and going to the hospital and having thousands of dollars of bill for this COVID-19, the whole pharmaceutical industry would really be like shattered by this, right? So I'm just telling you this because the potency of Ayurveda is really very strong, and provided you use the science in the right way. Like, immunity system also can't be built in a day. We have to be vigilant about our bodies, and we have to own ourselves, right? We need to own who we are and accept it. Each of us is special. That's what Ayurveda says. Each of us is different. We are not meant to look all like clones and behave all in a similar way. We are all uniquely gifted. Some of us are gifted with the sense of sensitivity, right? And we have been told this is wrong. You shouldn't be sensitive. You should be strong. So we hide our sensitivity inside. We don't show our love. We don't show our emotions because we are afraid of getting rejected. But Ayurveda talks about doshas. That means our own unique fingerprint. You know, nobody can replace our fingerprint. That's why right now, you know, we studied so much and learned to sign and ended up going to airports and giving our fingerprints again because we know that no two people have the same fingerprint. So like this, no two people have, they might have similar doshas, but everybody of us is different. And if we are sensitive in this society, we are told to be more logical. If we are ambitious, we are told to calm down. If we are angry, we are saying that we have been said that it's not right to be angry. If we are calm and we are satisfied with life, the question is, why are you satisfied with life? Why don't you want more? You know, so Ayurveda really explains this with the ancient wisdom that we have inherited a certain type, and that makes us in a positive way, and that also brings in an imbalance. And the truth is that if we won't embrace the imbalance which is inside us and learn from it, what's it trying to tell us, we won't be potentially be able to enjoy our positive side. So there is no negative side. It's all us, our positive strength, our negative side. And when we don't handle our imbalanced state, we show to the imbalanced state that they are capable of handling us. Right? So we tell the anger, dear, you can handle me. Sadness, dear, I belong to you. Laziness, dear, I want to just be like that. So doshas are actually forces inside us, which is our unique fingerprint, which we have inherited from our genetical code. And it's almost like we are looking for this acceptance outside us, whereas we need to give the acceptance to us. So what are the doshas? 3 doshas are there. The first type is called the Vata. V-A-T-A, Vata. People who are Vata belong to their heart, right? They take all the decisions from the heart. If they love, they can get married to somebody in South Africa and go and live with them in South Africa with the South African people, no matter where they live. They're like, I love him and I would do anything for him. Those people are sensitive. They are connected with the social causes. They help lifting up other people. And what happens is like, sometimes the world is too hard for them, right? And the sensitivity gets hurt, and then they're really confused about who they are. And those are the Vata types, always having even diseases with emotions. Now, the second type, Pitta type, the fire. Now, that's what the society wants everyone to be fire. Be leading, be dominating, be perfectionist, do everything in a proper way, be a leader. But Pitta types are naturally like that. They don't have to, a Pitta walks in a kitchen and sees where all the things are kept in a wrong place. He can be like, oh, this needs to go there, this needs to go there. It's the natural ability. But then if your unique fingerprint is the Pitta type, which is out of order. You don't understand all the illogical decisions of the people. You're irritated from inside with all these people you love and making mistakes. That's the fire type, right? Now, previously there were more fire type men and the women were more on the emotional side, on the Vata side. But what happened is because the women were not appreciated on the Vata type, most of us became Pitta. You see, we feel acknowledged when we win something, when we are, praised about something good, and that's the fire type. It always wants to be in limelight. It wants to manage, control. And emotions, yes, emotions, when I'm free, that time. emotions are important, right? And they need to be constantly calmed down, the fire type. Then we have the third type, the kapha type. Everything is okay. That's their agenda. When you do meditation, you become and you generate kapha inside you, right? When you do meditation regularly, you generate the kapha inside you. That's not the kapha which you have in you, but you generate it, and you can people who are naturally kapha are always very stable, calm, and don't have a lot of requirement of their own. So what I mean to say is that the kapha people are supporting the other people, and sometimes the families don't value it. Did I lose you? Did I lose you? Can you hear me? Yes?
We can hear you. You just
Okay.
froze briefly. You're good. If you want to start the meditation, it's good now.
Okay, right. So the kapha types are basically always being very stable and calm, and they give, and most of the time are not appreciated. So kapha have to value themselves, and then the others value them if you're a kapha. So that's about dosha and the unique fingerprint we all are having. Now, the meditation which I would like you to do today will also have interpretation. That means that you will understand which dosha you're not able to feel, and maybe you need to develop feeling that dosha. Okay, so once again, the three types: the vata energy, the pitta energy, and the kapha energy. These are the three energies, right? And I told you that they give you a certain kind of psychological well-being and a certain kind of type which you are. So how are we going to do the meditation today? So for feeling your doshas, please sit upright, open your chest, feel like a cord is pulling you up from your head. Like, when we feel proud of who we are, then we never go like this, right? We open up, we show ourselves. That's who we are. So you sit like that and you keep your hands open, right? You keep your hands open. And in order to feel the dosha, you must press this point, the center of your palm, and rotate it clockwise 5 times. And the other side. Open up. Remember, you own your dosha. So you're proud of who you are. You're sitting there, close your eyes. Take a deep breath up till your belly and release out all the air. Push your diaphragm down. Exhale out. 3 breaths we're going to do. Inhale. Exhale out. Exhale out. So first we're going to start with feeling the vata. So try to follow my instruction and see if you feel this in your body or not. Imagine yourself sitting on a mountain. You feel the cold wind coming and hitting your body. It's a warm temperature, so the cold wind feels good. Feel the cold wind around you. That's outside the vata element. Now, start to feel your body. Feel your heartbeat. When you're silent, you can hear your heartbeat. The heart is pumping the blood all over the body. You feel the movement of the blood moving, the movement of the lymphatics, all your lymph moving, the air moving in and the air moving out. I'll give you 20 seconds to feel your Vata element. Start to feel again your heartbeat, your blood moving, and your lymph moving, all the movements which are happening inside your body. You are safe with this movement. Feel your lungs rising up and down, the oxygen moving in your body. Come back to the top of the mountain. Feel the wind on your skin. The cold wind feels good on a hot day. Awesome. Mentally cut from that experience because we're now going to shift to feel the second dosha. Shake your hands a little bit. Move your neck. Once again, remember the cord pulling you from the top of your head, chest open, arms on your thighs. Now we're going to feel the heat. So you're sitting outdoor, the sun is rising and the temperature is rising. You feel the heat on your skin. It feels nice to feel warm. Three breaths, feel the warmth of the sun in your body. Now shift your attention inside your body. Bring your attention near your nose and feel the heat of your breath on your skin. Is your breath warm? Do you feel the warmth inside you? Next, shift your attention to your body temperature. Is it warm inside you? Feel the warmth element, the passion, the fire. Shift your attention to your stomach, your digestive system. Do you feel the acids? Do you feel the dynamic force inside you, which has the courage to say no, the courage to express itself? Give you 20 seconds to feel your body and the heat inside it. Smile as you reconnect with your passion and your heat energy. 2 deep breath. Feel the warmth of the air. Exhale out. Last one. Thank your body for connecting with your Pitta. Disconnect. Shake your arms. Move your neck. Disconnect like you're cutting the cord with the heat. Open up again. Remember the cord. Pull up your neck. Open your chest. Be proud of who you are. And now we're going to connect with the kapha. So you're going into the water. Imagine yourself going into the water, into your favorite place. How the water feels on your skin, how it relaxes you. How looking at the water, the sound of the water is just awesome. Now feel the water inside your body. We know that human body is made up of 70% water. Feel the water inside you. Feel the liquid element which is inside you. The best place to do that would be to feel your spinal cord and the liquid which is in the spinal cord, which keeps it stable, the cerebrospinal fluid. Feel it gently moving up and down, relaxing your nerves. The nerves which are tired from all this outside worldly inputs. Feel your cerebrospinal fluid move slowly, slowly. Now feel your body from head to toe. Your physical existence, your bones, your muscles. You exist. Feel the mucus in your mouth, the saliva. You are calm, and you're now connected to your kapha element. Connecting with this element can really relax you when you feel agitated, stressed, or angry. It's all within you, the balance and the imbalance. Smile. Remember to keep your shoulders open, being proud of who you are, embracing your dosha. Thank your body for connecting you with the kapha. You feel so peaceful because you have connected with your vata, pitta, and kapha. And you don't feel alone with your problems. You know there's a balancing force inside you, which you can tap into, a space in which you can find your relaxation. You are capable of solving all your problems by tapping into this dosha energy. Concentrate on your third eye for the last 10 seconds. Imagine that it will naturally take in that dosha which you need for balance, whether it be vata, pitta, kapha. You don't have to choose. It will naturally let the light enter and you will feel balanced. Thank your body and nature for the connection you just felt. With thanks and in full faith. You can now open your eyes.
That was really lovely, Shivani. It was a lovely exploration of all three doshas are present in every one of us. And
Right.
my hands were feeling cold, and we were doing the pitta, and I was like, I wish I could feel more heat in my hands. So yeah, it's interesting. You can see then which doshas you have more of, or you can connect easier with, or the doshas which you feel like you don't have such a strong connection with. I think that might be interesting to explore, and maybe we can ask everybody how they felt, and if anybody would like to share, perhaps how they experienced that.
I would love to share. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
That was so interesting. I really loved it. And when I started school, we read about this and studied it and took the quizzes, but I've never gone through a meditation to kind of, as you said, raise your dosha. So I have a question, because I think when I originally took the quiz a year ago, mine has slightly changed. Do you think an active meditation practice can change your doshas?
Definitely.
It can help
you generate the balanced one. And when you're meditating, you're more connected with your body and your brain frequency is less. In Ayurveda, we call this as Rajas. Rajas means like a very high speed energy, right? Like we all think the faster, the better. But the thing is, slow is the new fast.
That's good. Wow. And when you say, if I could ask one more, it's so interesting. When you say, at one point you said, raise your dosha, does that mean help discover which is the strongest one? What did you mean by, okay.
In the end of the meditation, I just made first I stimulated your heart chakra. And then in the end of the meditation, I stimulated the ajna, which is like an automatic balance mechanism, a third eye. If you know, the Shiva has the third eye and it automatically balances the whole body energy. So I directed all of yours imbalanced energy that it automatically takes in Vata, Pitta, Kapha, because I know at this point you don't know which one you need, right? So I told go yourself, whichever energy you need, so that you feel balanced all through the day. So it's like an automatic, thing, whatever entered you. I don't know whether Vata came in or Pitta came in or Kapha. So it just made your automatic balance inside.
Thank you, Dr. Shivani. That was great. Thank you.
I have a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
Two questions, actually. It's a little cool in the room that I'm in. So I never felt any warmth whatsoever, but I do have a blanket on. So I'm wondering, does that have any, does that just clarify the fact that I have that dosha?
You didn't feel your pitta, you mean?
No.
Maybe you need more pitta.
Maybe.
Right? Maybe you need more pitta, more strength, more courage, more expression of who you are. Because especially as women, we tend to not own our power. Right? We are trained by the society a lot to not speak and be a nice person and, please everybody and stuff. And that's nice. But then, is that who you are? So when you don't feel your pitta, you have to really question this, that is this who truly I am?
Okay. All right. My second question, I'm sorry. My second question was at the very end of the meditation, when you said something about look inside and look into your heart, I actually had a sensation in the area of my heart. I can't describe it to you. It wasn't like a fast, it wasn't like a palpitation. It was more like a movement.
That's nice. That's like a kapha feeling of energy. That's nice. If you can feel your kapha, it's really nice, because that means that you have the space which you can tap in. Most of the people I have discovered with this meditation miss the pitta energy. But then the ones are there who really don't feel the vata energy, because there's so much, the ones who did not feel the first part of the meditation probably have too much control.
Okay.
Who did not feel the vata so much? Can you raise your hands like this? Right. So it means that you definitely have control, right? Like somewhere maybe the world taught you that you have to be in a certain way. And who did not feel the heat inside? Please raise your hands. So are you disowning the pitta? Are you trying to be nice?
Oh, of course.
So that's the reason. And I'm pretty sure you're a group of meditators, so you must have felt your kapha. Who felt the kapha? Please raise your hands. Who felt the kapha? You see, most of you felt the kapha. I can see that. Right? Because that's a nice, cool space you tap in. And how do we use this meditation? So in Ayurveda, the emotions, imbalanced emotion have a category, right? So let's say that you're feeling very angry. So your fire is high. You can already feel, when you're angry that your cheeks get warm. Do you know that? Cheeks get warm. It feels like you're going to have a fever. So you can immediately tap into your kapha space doing this meditation. So you don't have to do all the three. But if you want to use it for this way, you should be practicing this dosha connecting meditation. Then only when you're angry, it will calm you down. So when you're angry, then you first calm yourself down, because then you will see the sense of what made you angry. You'll be able to speak out. Because when we are angry, most of the time, we zip up our mouth and we say, okay, calm down. But when we calm down, we can see the whole perspective of what's the trigger. Right? And this way we can really understand our imbalanced emotion. So what has happened in Ayurveda, there's a lot of labeling about vata imbalance, pitta imbalance, kapha imbalance. But when we tap into the energy of other dosha regularly with meditation, we can make a switch over, at any point, and we can tell to the doshas like, okay, you're there, you're dominant, but I am the one who is in charge of you. It's not like you can move me like a ball and throw me into the anxiety pool. I am going to tell you, I'm going to stay calm and I have a choice, right? So tapping into the power of dosha actually means you're in control of what's happening to you, and you have all the three.
And that's what they have here, Dr. Shivani. Everybody is, well, the majority of the people on the call today have been coming on these calls for weeks and weeks and weeks, or for months even. And so they've really developed that connection to that kapha stability and stabilizing, and they've learned so many tools that, we always talk about doing these practices in activity. So when we're feeling that anxiety, or we're feeling the rage, or we're feeling whatever we're feeling, we can self-soothe, and we can sort of bring ourselves back by reconnecting to that center. So brilliant. I just want to also share with everybody that Dr. Shivani does, she's doing a 5-day course on emotional eating. She does some short programs, so you can connect with her for sure if you want to find out more about learning about your doshas and that. And on her newsletter, she does a Monday health booster every Monday, and I get it in my inbox. And it's always just a really interesting little tip or tool. So if you do want to know more about Ayurveda, she also, I'll put it in the chat actually, I have it here somewhere. She has an online thing that you can go in and do a little, it's not quite a quiz, but it's just something that you can do to experience and balance your doshas. So I'll put it in the chat, and I'll put the link that you can sign up for that actually as well. So yeah, anybody else have any other questions about their doshas, about Ayurveda?
Could you please just go over again the vata? I feel pretty comfortable with the pitta and the kapha, but the vata is just a little more elusive for me, please.
Right. So why is it elusive for you?
I consider myself a very pitta person.
That's why. That's the reason, right? Vata is the force of emotions, the force of movement, the changes, adaptability. So for a pitta person, vata might be scary. right? Because the Pitta people like all in order. But we might need the Vata when we need to tap into our emotional side. I'll tell you exactly how. Like imagine your daughter made a mistake. And if you look at it from a Pitta perspective, there are 101 suggestions you can give to her to make it right and to tell her not to make it again. But if you look at a Vata perspective and you shift to your heart, it's all right to make a mistake and she'll learn from it. That's it. Right? So we are trusting her. She's on her journey. Yes, she made a mistake, but we're easier on her and we're easier on ourselves. So when we're connecting with the Vata, we're connecting more with our heart. But like I said, in the past, a lot of women and generations of women have suffered because of being too emotional. And that's created the Pitta League of women. Right? It's like emotionally means, in fact, there's a time like sensitive, don't be so sensitive was like a slang, like you said to people like, oh, don't be so sensitive, be strong. But it's nice to be sensitive and to know how to use it in the right way. Right? So all the doshas have the unique power, and many times I've seen many creative people, especially the Vata, doubt themselves each and every day. Each and every day they're doubting themselves. I mean, why? Because the voices in the head from the generations of the women who were Vata said, no, not you. No, not you. Many Pitta women are hiding because they don't use their Pitta in the right way. They get frustrated. Right? So use the fire is very important. With fire, we can cook food, right? And we can also burn somebody's house, somebody. So using the fire in the right way is good. And many times with the Pitta, I found out that they're super people. But when you come near them, they have a lot of issues about controlling everybody's behavior and how everything should be. So being more tolerant, understanding movement, understanding flexibility definitely softens it. And being hard on yourself is one of the way to create a lot of stress hormones. Like right now for coming for this call, I'm just me. It's really not, this is how I am, right? It's not like some kind of thing I have put up or, So when you're yourself, and it's okay to make a mistake. So, not very much pressure on yourself, just be you and let it happen naturally. So then the Pitta flows in the right way. And then you're happy to have your power. You own it. You own it that you're different, and you also own it that others are different than you. Most of the time with the fire type, I've seen this, that they get children who are totally different than them. I don't know how many of you saw, because I have done 10,000 plus consultations, in various countries. And I saw this, like most of the fire people get lessons from the children. And for that, I had like a psychologist teacher, a child's psychologist teacher. And she told me, well, many times children are coming, not that we can parent them, but they can teach us. And I think this applies to the Pitta. Right? The children are really not like the Pitta. So that's why balancing your Pitta actually makes like a ease, like you're like flowing and everything is fine. And yes, you are good enough and you don't have to be perfect. You're just you. So science of dosha has a lot of deeper connection. It has connections with emotional eating. It has connections with your relationship, communication. Where are you struggling with? It has connection with expressing yourself, using your power in the right way. Not like you created a great business and then ended up with a burnout. Right? So when you know about yourself and you know about your dosha, then you are taking the right decisions and you know where your drawbacks are, but you also know where your strengths are.
Dr. Shivani, can you speak to what it's like when you have like an imbalance of kapha? So if there's a kapha imbalance, how to move that?
Susie, I would like to share an example of a very great friend of mine who is from US, and he is kapha. And what happens with him is all the imbalanced women come to him and take shelter in his place when they don't feel good and leave him and go when they're done. Do you know what I mean? So he's attracting all these women who are not feeling good, and we've been discussing this because he is giving women the kapha, the platform of stability, and the platform of accepting who they are. But the truth is, like, they just come for a while, stay with him, and they don't value the kapha. So I told him, like, you have to value yourself, that your presence is a gift, right? Because he's a spiritual man. He doesn't have any kind of, big kind of properties or something to give to the women. So it's just emotional nurturing. And the kaphas have to value this, that their emotional nurturing is precious. Otherwise, they end up feeling alone. Right? And they end up feeling stuck. And they feel that they gave a lot, but nobody really cared. But the thing is, like, you have to take care of yourself. So most of the time with kapha, we are just, very having really this calm energy. And I can tell you that I can't be him, right? He comes in and you feel the kapha vibe. And I have the fire vibes, right? I balance my fire, but I cannot be him because he's different than me. But you see, he suffered also being calm and stable and being so kapha. And he disowned his Pita. That's what he did. Why he disowned his Pita? Because his father was a Pita guy. So he's like, okay, I'm going to be the meditator. But who you are truly, if I am a Pitta and I'm trying to be a Kapha, I can generate Kapha like we generated with this meditation. But if I'm not showing myself. And unless and until I show myself and I claim who I am, I won't feel peaceful. Peace lies in being you. A dog never wants to be a cat. Right? But as humans, we're like, I don't know what we all want to make. So even if we are aware that we have our imbalance and we do a meditation casually, but accepting who we are, we make in such a strong difference to our life. What do you want to say? What do you want? What do you want it to happen? There is no age limits for this. When Ayurveda walks in your life, everything makes sense. Everything. Why you struggled so many years, what was the reason and I remember with Susie, when she was in the job, she was working for Apple. Am I right? You were working for Apple right then. And she did the ASC1 first time, and I think she quit the job, and she, it showed her something about her path which needed to be different. And that's not a story, right?
It's so true. Yeah. I think Ayurveda is a really power tool to have in your pocket, because it gives you so much insight into your unique nature. Like you said, we all are so unique and different. We all have our own singular thumbprint, and when we go through this kind of self-exploration through Ayurveda, you suddenly realize you're being somebody else because that's maybe what's expected of you, or it's what society expects you to be, or how to act, or whatever. So you're doing things maybe for the wrong reasons. So I think for me, it gave me, when we were doing the gunas, when I was doing this with Shivani back 3 or 4 years ago, it just gave me so much clarity to quit my job at Apple, and I was so happy as a result of it. It was a real liberation at that time, to have that realization. So I think there's also something I'd love you to touch on if you have time, which I found fascinating, which really drew me in, was the influence of your parents' doshas on yours. So you could be born, like she said earlier, quite sensitive, but you could have Pitta parents, and then they may be forcing that Pitta nature on somebody who's more creative. So do you want to speak to that maybe, Shivani?
Yes. Right. So childhood and parenting is making a lot of influence on our doshas, right? And here I have a great question from Elizabeth. She says, what if I don't have resonance with any of the three? It is about really knowing that maybe you have a fixed identity of who you are, or you have made an identity, and maybe this identity is you created this identity. You know what I mean? So you don't feel this shift, because you should be able to feel in the subtle shift of the air to the fire. Those are the elements inside us, right? So when you don't have resonance with any of the three, you might need to go deeper into who you are again, right? And our identity is very much influenced by the society and our parents, right? From childhood, we are conditioned. Schooling, I don't know. Till now, I see the children suffering in schooling, not letting them be who they are, always correcting them, always trying to, and there is no escape from schooling. Like homeschooling, many parents are doing, but it's not easy to homeschool your kids, because 99% of the kids are going to school. So your kid might want to go to the school and you say, no, you're going to homeschool. So you have a difference in opinion, right? So parenting and all this is definitely making you understand the reason why your doshas have not been developed properly. How are the doshas connecting to the aging process? Aging is a fake thing. Ageless body, Dr. Deepak Chopra. Ageless body, timeless mind. As long as you have passion, you have your smile, you have your desire to enjoy every day. What is this numbers? I mean, like, keep counting. I even stopped counting after 40, and I every day tell to my body, we're going to age in reverse. We're going to be smarter.
I asked that question, and I heard right now, am I there?
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. I asked that question because when I took the quizzes, I really showed no vata whatsoever, except when I connected with like the dry skin, the fine hair, things I did not have as a youth. So I guess that's my question is how it's connected in that aging process.
Okay, now I get your question. Okay, so as you're getting, the aging process, vata is naturally affecting your body. But that's why when we do quizzes are the worst way to find your dosha many times, but that's the easiest way when you want to have like the general outcome. It doesn't give like specific answers. In order to get specific answers, you must be going to a consultant to go deep diving into what's your dosha, how is it impacting you? Where are you stuck? Like what is, like when we do an operation, we have a reason we are doing the operation, right? You don't open the body and think like, oh, what am I going to do with this operation today? So like this with doshas also, you have a reason why you're diving into them. When you know that reason, then you get a better consultation, professional advice. So when somebody is asking you in the quizzes and the aging thing is there, you should always take like your criteria about how it was when you were younger with your 20 to 30 slot. And that would give a right quiz. However, I took about 15 quizzes in Ayurveda, and some of them told me my current situation, and some of them gave mixed result about the mind and so on. And that's why quizzes are nice when you're a newcomer, right? Thank you, Kim. It was nice to have you in my session. I know like we don't have personalized session, but I really enjoyed doing this with you. Okay, so I mean like dosha world is amazing. And if we are thinking about being a consultant, we are not entering a medical field of giving advices. We are entering a field of identification of who you are, what your path should be, simple science about body reading, understanding how our genetical makeup has been made up, how stress triggers us, how can we diffuse this stress. I mean, there's a lot of stuff which is there. And those people are all consultants, the one you can go to ask about your dosha and what to eat and how to detoxify your body. So no way you're entering like being a doctor or something like that, right? That's another thing. You're basically guiding people on why they're struggling. Is it acceptance? Is it lack of self-love? What do they need to develop? Because we are running around for solution, and the true solution is first in knowing yourself deeply. Who am I? It's a very important question. How I've been conditioned? What I really want? Like if you see the Indian conditioning, then yes, in India, as a typical Indian woman, then you have like a life of a housewife inside the house, being confined. And that was my worst fear as a child, that somebody would put me inside the house, and stop me from doing what I wanted. because the fire in me was burning. And it said, no, 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 you have to be different. And what did I get? That a lot of criticism in the beginning because of being different. But I believed in who I am. Right? I took the voice. I came into Ayurveda. I saw everybody is prescribing medicine, whereas we need work on the foundation level of human being. Right? To understand the process of who we are, why we are there, what is that we are disowning. And that makes such a big shift. And now I have like in this COVID year also, I have like around 40 consultants who are trained in this year. Right? And more people are asking for these kind of advices about what's my dosha, what should I be eating, why am I not feeling good, why is my energy going down. And the best thing what I saw about in all the consultants where they were feeling good in the COVID time because they understood that what they can really manage is their body. I think all the meditators also, you feel good when you're meditating. You understand that we are doing our part, our responsibility, but certain things are not in our control.
Yeah. I'd like to say something to that actually, Shivani, because, we do a practice in meditation called self-inquiry practice. So quite often when I'm guiding this session, we'll do, who am I? What do I want? What is my purpose? What am I grateful for? Those 4 main questions. And we don't explore the answers in the practice. We literally just plant those like the seeds. And then what happens over the course of the week or over the course of activity, the answer meets the question, because that clarity starts to emerge. And I think that's why Ayurveda and meditation just go hand in hand. It's like having one without the other. To me, I always say Ayurveda is a consciousness-based system of healing. So you have to understand yourself to be able to answer those questions. You have to be able to have done some self-inquiry and develop some self-awareness to know where you're fiery, to know where you're airy and spacey, to know where you're stable and calm, So any other questions? Because I think everybody here has a very good sense of self from doing their regular practice. Charlene has a question there. Can you read it, Shivani? She says, what would be the basis? Oops. Sorry.
What would be the basis of a chronic pain? The basis of the chronic pain is connected very much deeply with the gut health. Okay? Ayurveda, everything is connected. Today, science is talking about connection. For example, they're talking about the connection between the gut bacteria and the brain. And we very strongly know that anything in our stomach, and we feel it like that, isn't it? Maybe you don't feel the pain in the leg muscle, but something in our stomach, we feel it very quickly because the gut and the brain is connected. So when you're having chronic pain, it shows that you're making a lot of toxins with your body and your digestive system is not functioning in a good way. Plus, emotionally, it could be that you are actually ignoring what is hurting you. You're denying it. You behave as if it doesn't exist. So there is a lot of, when we are talking about Ayurveda, it's like every diagnosis is connected with the person. Why I put on weight might be different from why you put on weight. Right? Is very different from, so everybody is different, and that's why everybody is interesting, and that's why the world needs more consultants who are interested in people, who are interested in finding out what's the reason they are sick. Nobody is interested for that. We know that when we get even a small symptom, we are going doctor to doctor asking, oh, what's wrong with me? What's wrong with me? Why is this happening? Nobody is telling you. Everybody is telling you how to fix it. Right? Take this pill and forget about it. But our personal responsibility for our health is really very important. And that's why in Ayurveda, if you're talking about chronic pain also, whose chronic pain is that? That's the thing. Is this the pain of a vata? Is this a pain of a pitta? Is this a pain of a kapha? Some chronic pain comes because you are so startled by life and you store everything. You don't let anything go away. Right? So show the person, talk to him. Everybody needs to speak out what's happening. And the consultants are there who guide these people according to their body types. telling them what has to be done individually. Where are you struggling with? Right? So it's a very, like, for me, it has been always interesting, and I'm consulting for last 17 years. Each person is interesting for me because I'm learning with that person. I feel the passion, and so do my students, right? They're really inquisitive. Like Susie is there, one of them, and we were really like, what's with this person? Why has this happened to him? Because before solutions, we need to find out our lives and what do we want it to happen. Even when we are 80, what is that what we want it to happen? Right? And if we don't want anything to happen, probably we are stayed in a kapha state.
And that's something I'd love to share too, is the beauty with doing the Ayurveda is that as you start to explore the doshas and how they express through you, because everybody has all three in varying amounts, is that when you're doing the Ayurvedic consultation, it's almost reflected back at you. You know, it's kind of, as you start to explore it and talk about, you know, something that's so obvious may not be that obvious till you start to explore it through the lens of Ayurveda, I think, because it's so connected with the 5 elements as well, you know. So you may not see it as Pitta, but it'll be that fiery part of you. You may not see it as your Vata, but it's when you're kind of more spacey or airy, or, you know. So there's other, I think it's the way that it can be, like the way you kind of encapsulate the different doshas in Ayurveda can really reflect back, you know, those qualities in you, and you start to say, that resonates with me, that's much more me, or maybe not so much that, and that's really where the clarity starts to come. You know, you only have to get it once. That's the beauty with Ayurveda. Once you get what your dosha is, your dosha doesn't keep changing. You know what you are in balance, and then you understand, okay, I need to do a little bit more of this, a bit less of this, in order to, it's about finding your own balance in your own lifestyle choices, you know, and in your self-care practices too. So what sort of practices do you recommend, Shivani? Do you want to speak to that? Like, you know, how to balance doshas?
Okay, in order to balance the dosha, the basic what I would really say is to first follow the rhythm of the day, as the nature has put us. So nowadays, I don't know if you see, but we see youngsters getting up at 12 in the afternoon. I don't know if you have such kids, but they're waking up at 12 o'clock, they're sleeping at 3 o'clock, eating at 2 o'clock their dinner. So it's a short way to imbalance your dosha. We need to follow the rhythm. We need to accelerate and use the first part of our day for productivity and the later part of the day for relaxing and connection. Right? So we need to actually follow the rhythm of the nature. Ayurveda is the nature, it's the plant, is the nature, is the rhythm of the body, is the rhythm doing and having specific, you know, like understanding about, like, in order to balance your dosha, you must recognize, you know, the dosha, and you must see what is the trigger, what imbalances you. Right? Like, for example, if emotions imbalance you and you became Pitta to escape this, wait for more emotions to come. Body is really smart, mind is smart. You'll escape one set of emotion, the second set is waiting for you. So in order to balance your dosha, the second important step is to identify which one imbalances you. What are your triggers? And a short way to balance your dosha is, the third one is to really eat fresh, visible food. Food is visible. Food cannot be in the form of things we don't identify. Food has to be fresh. Food is energy, vitality. And, you know, I am a person, I don't like to be so much in the kitchen. Like, not really for 2-3 hours, right? Like cooking long dishes. So mostly I cook fresh food, and I made a Monday Health booster on that, on how I make a running breakfast. It's very simple, I'll tell you. Just take a cup of, you know, almond milk, and you put in some dates there, some cinnamon there, some turmeric there. Warm it up. That's it. Breakfast is done. A big cup of almond milk. Right? Warm breakfast. If you're a little bit hungry, you can add a little bit of oats inside. But you don't have to really think about like this long breakfast of everything and putting. So Eating has to be simple. And by eating fresh, you can actually, balance in your dosha. And most of the doshas are imbalanced with psychological imbalance. Those are the hard ones to recover, right? Like childhood conditioning, your father telling you, oh, you are not smart enough, you're not good enough, you're not something, something, right? So those childhood conditioning stuck in brings us into these deep stages of negativity. And plus, what's happening in the modern world, a lot of stress, conflict. Those are the harder ones to resolve, with doshas which need more personalized work. And the consequence is like we are only, like for me in my Pitta perfect world, everybody should know their dosha and should not do anything to be sick, and everything should be proper. But where does it happen? Only inside my head. It never happens, because it's only when we hit the wall and our health is not feeling good, we start to take action, right? This is normal. I mean, even if we want ideal, nobody is ideally taking care of health if it's totally healthy. We feel something in us which is negative. And that's why feeling negative is not a bad thing, because it's trying to speak to you. Right? So that's where, like, the more you will dive into this and the more you're interested in this information, you can help yourself. And yeah, right now I'm also designing a short course on emotional eating, and I'm covering up all the 4 factors which affect emotional eating, because people give answers in part. And I've created a whole strategic map. It will be launched soon. It's not released yet because it's in the way of creation. But if you're joining my Facebook group or liking my Facebook page, then you will definitely get the information when it's launched. It's all the courses are always, short courses are launched inside my group, right? When you know about the information about it. And then what I really do is, the one who are passionate like me and want to help other people and want to make a career out of it, and already are teaching meditation and want to add a tool to help their patients more in self-identification and so on, can join the ACOC one, which Susie has done. And that trains you, that's the level 1. And the level 1 takes you into psychology, body reading, dosha science, detoxification plan, nutrition, right? And right now, the course is like on a special offer. When you sign up for the course, you get the course is beginning in January. So it's like the spots are there for training as a basic consultant. And if you right now book it, so you get like a short course complimentary if you pay in installments, like you can pay in installment and it begins in January. And if you pay all complete, you can get a consultation right now with me for free before the course begins. So you can get yourself balanced and understand whatever you want for yourself. So that course comes with learning basic consultancy, and it comes with a class for learning how to manage stress management with Ayurveda, and also a master class on how to build good relationships. I mean, why have they not taught it to us? It's so important. Good relationships are like, Valentine every day. You feel great, you feel loved, you feel expressed, you feel connected, but we have to train ourselves and understand the art of communication and how do we build good relationship. And so the course ACOC 1 comes with all these bonuses, which starts in January, and it includes 3 consultations for yourself inside the course, masterclass on stress, masterclass on relationship development, the whole of the ACOC 1. And as a pre-bonus, if you sign up for it now, then you get an additional consultation or a course for free, which you can do before the course start, because obviously when you want to sign up for something, you want to start with something. So those are the offers which are running on my page. And I have also made a small PDF, a PDF for you, which Susie has put in the link. I think, yeah, she's put in the link, you see. And that's what I told the doshas. You can download the PDF if you don't want to receive any other more information, because you can also receive the boosters and the launch of the course with the newsletter. You You can unsubscribe after, downloading the PDF, but I wanted to make sure that you read it, because it's the first time you heard about it. And I have written in the tricks for the cross meditation. So if you're feeling lazy, what to do, if you're feeling angry, what to do. So you can combine this today's exercise with like some emotion reversing meditation. So there's a download there, right? Yeah. So here's subscribe page, and you subscribe to the newsletter as well when you do that. So those are a few of the programs what I do. And definitely for studying consultancy, what you really need is enthusiasm and passion for helping people. That's all. Don't be like, oh, I don't know any Ayurveda. Will I be able to learn it? No, 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 no. Nothing is going to, be very difficult. I'm there with you, because my idea is that any trained consultant then lifts up the society, tells the people that where they're stuck. And one person which I train when I'm sleeping also is helping other people feel better about themselves and see where they're, and this way the knowledge is spreading.
Brilliant.
Right?
I'm very aware of the time, Shivani, because I know it must be nearly midnight, is it, where you are?
Yes,
what time is it?
It is midnight. I did some meditation before I joined you all to, increase my vibration for the, the late night one, because normally I remember doing a webinar late night and I look so terrible and tired on it. I was like, oh, maybe I need to hit the bed, but I planned the day that I could be active in the night, right? So yes, so I wish you all balancing with the doshas, because especially with the COVID, it is really important that we stay sane and we stay balanced. And
Indeed.
if there's a calling for you for really going into consultancy or exploring more with the style I teach, you can also, watch my Monday Health Boosters and so on, and, connect with it. I also run a mini consultancy course for free just before I launch, but then it does come with all those offers. So you can have like a 3-day free mini training also, okay, for seeing how you feel as a consultant, and, if that's your path.
I
All
think
right. Thank you so much.
So many outlets. You've so many offerings. I'm really, really grateful that you came and you joined us today. I think it was very interesting. I'm passionate about Ayurveda, so I loved it. So thank you so much for your time, and I'm really conscious of how late it is for you. But it's been wonderful to have, India, then Ireland, and all the way across to the west coast of the USA, and we're all connected and we're all together. So thank you from the bottom of my heart on behalf of everybody, Shivani. You're very, very generous with all of your time and information and expertise. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
It's so great to be here.
Yeah.
So
Did you say there was
everybody,
a PDF?
Okay.
Did you say there was a
Thank you.
PDF of the dose?
Blessings. It's all about love.
It's all
it is
about
all
love.
about love, Lucky. I put the link for to get the PDF in the chat if you want to take the copy of the link.
Thank you. I'll copy it.
Get it sent
Thank
out.
you,
Yeah.
Dr.
Yeah.
Sood.
Yeah.
This was
Thank you,
great.
Doctor.
I'll be back
Uh-huh.
on Friday with more good, cool stuff. It'll probably be just me, but anyway, I hope to see some of you Friday, and have a fabulous week, everybody. Let's pray for the election in America. Let's pray for, a positive, wonderful outcome for everybody. Okay?
Yes.
Thank you
Thank
again,
you.
Shivani. Take care, everybody. Thanks for your time.
Bye.
So grateful for you ladies. Thank you, Susie and Dr. Sood.
Thank you so much, all of you.
My pleasure. Take
Bye,
care.
everyone.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Blessings.
Blessings. It's all about love, Lucky.